morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Life Talk Burrito with me, Michelle Gunn, and your other host, Shreyas Kushik, and our special guest, the guy you don't know, Michael O'Connor.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
I gotta say, I love that intro music. That was like the best 30-second countdown intro music I've ever heard in my life. I was jamming. I don't know if I want to hear it all day, but that 30 seconds was pretty awesome. Got me in the mood, woke me up a little bit. You
Oh,
guys
good.
doing it?
That's the free StreamYard 30-second video clip. Yeah.
Or they should give you an endorsement for that. That was a nice little segue. You guys doing all right today?
Doing good so far. How about you, Michelle? Waking up
Good.
very early on.
I'm waiting for the sun to shine through to get some light in here, but
So we're live now on LinkedIn, Facebook,
we
YouTube.
we are. We're live across 3 channels. We already got comments. Make sure, everyone, you put where you're from in the comments. And if you have questions for Mike as we go, please drop them in the comments. So far, we have hello, Judith,
Oh, Judith.
Nessim, and of course, Joe made it. Hi, Joe.
A whole bunch of people I don't know. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, Manish.
These poor people you're about ready to unleash me onto.
Go. Oh, we got a whole bunch more. Okay. Well, how do you say? Let's get started. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Mike? Some people may not know who you are.
I'll tell you what I legally can. My name is Michael O'Connor. I'm the SPN guy on LinkedIn. In 2015, I got onto LinkedIn and started to do win-win networking. At the time, I was raising money for a non-profit orphanage in Africa. Now, that's what started the Service Professionals Network, which at the time was just a networking group on LinkedIn. We still have a group on LinkedIn. Everybody's welcome to join. The only rules is golden rule. You got to treat people nice. So feel free to join the SPN LinkedIn group. From there, we grew onto Facebook. Somebody actually copied SPN and made a Facebook group. So I had to contact Facebook and tell them to stop doing that. So we have SPN local Facebook group as well. And then from there, we grew a social media site, the serviceprofessionalsnetwork.com. We added a business directory. We just added a job posting board yesterday to help people get their resumes out there in front of the right people. And that's kind of what we do. I play around on social media. I create content. I comment on all sorts of things in every particular platform. I really don't know where I'm making people angry, but chances are I'm making somebody angry every day, because, I can't help it. I ruffle feathers and I'm not afraid to dive into the hard topics.
Absolutely. So it's a real pleasure to have you with us, and it's our very first meeting. And I'm sure SPN is really helping out those who put in their efforts. And I have been definitely liking how it is going so far with my business listing and finding my LinkedIn friends over there as well, and trying to just promote and learn from what others have to offer. So if
I
you don't know
appreciate
Mike,
that.
Mike is really the genius about networking. So any questions, whatever in and out of networking, now is your opportunity to ask, and we will get him to answer it in the nicest way possible. Mike is always all about
Always nice.
giving you thunder, so it might hit you in your face, but we'll just try to keep it as simple as possible.
I get a hard reputation, and maybe it's well earned a little bit, because there are times, I'm the golden rule guy, but I'm also the don't start none, won't be none guy, because hey, look, I'm not going to sit there and just tell people what they want to hear, or, keep the peace when somebody's being antagonistic. I'll never have a problem that I've manufactured with somebody. You know what I mean? I don't go and poke at people. I don't I don't say things just to say them. You know what I mean? I just don't like bullies, and I don't like things that just don't make life better for other people. So one of my biggest pet peeves, and maybe I'm a little bit too known for this on LinkedIn, I've really tried to scale it back, because quite frankly, a lot of people don't care. I can't people that sell services they shouldn't be selling. That's just one of my biggest pet peeves, and that'll get me every time.
In all honesty, I think your golden rule and the way you've stayed true to your values, what is making SPN such a popular platform with business owners? Because I really find people over there are very much serious and really take efforts to offer whatever it is that they can, however small or big. And the biggest advantage I see is there is no expectation whatsoever. I think that is what is keeping it going very
You just
successfully.
made
And
my day.
I
You have
wouldn't,
no idea. You just
I
made
wouldn't
my
want
day because, like, you nailed it, dude. You nailed it. Look, I say a lot of outlandish stuff. I almost said a bad word there, but I say outlandish stuff all the time. And I don't say it to antagonize people. I'm not trying to be Howard Stern on the internet to where I just provoke people just to provoke them. You know what I mean? I try to do things within reason. So when I have smart people, guys inviting me on your show, that's why I came on here. And I have sponsors, like some of my sponsors, like Exit Damon and Andrew Cross, Don Williams Global. I mean, Don Williams, know that guy? He has a Alliance telemarketing company, one of the biggest telemarketing companies in the world. The dude works for over half the Fortune 500. He's done so for 30 years. He's changed telemarketing. I'm not talking about the robocall extended warranty guy. I'm talking about like customer service, the good telemarketing, the good stuff, right? So when I got guys like Don Williams and Damon, Sherry and Joe, the finance guy, sponsor my website, I'm like, oh, you know what? I can't be that bad, right? Like, I got I got some really excellent people saying, Mike, we believe in you, you know. So like, I mean, I can't be kicking the can too far down the road too bad, you know. I mean, I got the right people, and I really appreciate the comment because, like, look, I don't have any expectations except for follow the golden rule. I really don't. I mean, you can go look at my website. Like, I probably won't get my app approved right now because some of the stuff people are posting. Post dirty memes, dirty jokes. I mean, it's not LinkedIn. I'm not trying to be LinkedIn here with the most professional platform. I'm not trying to be Facebook or Twitter either. Because I mean, what's funny is they want to improve my app through Apple because some of the stuff you see on my website. But if you go look at Twitter, there's porn. It's like a cesspool. It's a digital cesspool. But you know, they're in the game. They're in the play. Look, I'm gonna build my platform. I'm gonna attract right people. They say, you know, I believe in big sayings. I believe in like generalizations to some degree, like the positive ones, right? One of them, which is your vibe attracts your tribe, right? And positivity sells, right? I say a lot of negative stuff, so I will let people know, right? But generally, I'm a happy guy. I like to attract happy people. I like to attract people that are doing things with their lives, and I like to help them do it better. Not because I'm trying to be pretentious or egotistical, like look at me, just because I can. I play around on the internet a lot, you know. Like I figure out the widgets, I figure out SEO. Like, you know, I can't tell a joke, I can't sing or dance, but I can play around on the internet better than most people. And I'm fairly good at like getting along with just about anybody as long as you're being truthful and telling, you know, I mean, as long as you're treating people right, we'll probably get along. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And yeah, so talking, we've talked about all the good things so far, and I don't want our audience to assume that it has always been a cakewalk for you establishing SPN
Oh,
because
yeah.
I have set up my website and I know how much of a pain it is to just maintain it. And you have this whole host of features that you have bought into SPN. So that prompts this question: what was the biggest challenge you faced personally and professionally for establishing SPN?
Little joke is Jacob Warren with Warren Research. Getting that guy not to kill me for all the things that I break on the website, honestly, probably the biggest challenge because Warren Research, that guy fixes everything I break on my. Told him I wasn't going to add a job board, you know, but then I did. So sorry, Jacob. But no, really, my biggest challenge on a personal level, you know, besides the quarantine and the COVID and everything else everybody else is dealing with, is something I think is important for everybody, and we all neglect at certain times in our life. I know that I do, especially if I'm not being really aware of it, is redefining and establishing and protecting my personal boundaries. That is the biggest thing. Getting rid of negative people, getting rid of toxicity. And here's the thing is I try to be a observant guy. right? But we all walk through life a little bit with rose-colored glasses, right? And it's always easier for somebody else to see something on the outside, and the biggest thing I've learned, not the biggest challenge, but one of the things that compelled me to redefine my boundaries is taking a step back and looking at where do I want to be? Where am I going? And how are things getting there? Right. And I made some big decisions that shocked a lot of people because I cut ties with some people that they're good people. I'm not going to sit here and bash anybody. They're good people, right? They're just not good for me and what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go with my life and with the Service Professionals Network, right? And that was probably some of the hardest things is like sometimes you have to cut loose good people, right? Because they may not be good for you, right? And there's lots of, and look, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but my website's getting big. It's got 2 million pages. It's going in the right direction. I'm doing the things to make it work, right? So people are going to come to me, they're going to gravitate toward me and they're going to ask me things. They're going to put some pretty enticing things in front of me. It happens all the time. And one of the biggest things I've really focused on is what carrots and apples am I going to avoid, because it looks great. It can help me out. Short term, long term might be fantastic, right? But does it take me off that path of what I really want to do, which is, promote the golden rule, promote win win networking? Does it take me away from that, right? Because I'm not money driven. I'm not fame driven. I know that may surprise people, but like, I don't want to be the most popular guy on my website or anybody else's website, right? I don't need to drive the biggest, fanciest sports car. I had a freaking orphanage in 2015 on the LinkedIn. That's the whole reason why I got on social media in the first place was to help other people, right? So I'm not going to sit here and BS people and say I don't want the money or I'm going to turn down the fame or please don't recognize me because who doesn't want that stuff, right? But what I'm telling you is it's not my chief driving factor, right? Because life is short. 42 fat. I smoke way too much pot. I don't exercise nearly enough, right? My days are limited, and anything I get above today is a blessing. And I'm going to appreciate it. You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't want to leave a big legacy. I don't want to like redefine a whole bunch of things, right? I just want people to treat each other a little bit better while I'm here. That's it.
Great. So, given all of that, what was your biggest challenge of 2020?
Redefining those boundaries and cutting people that I didn't necessarily want to cut loose, but because look, life is about relationships, right? And every relationship, whether you want to acknowledge this, whether you agree with me or not, we can agree to disagree, right? But every relationship comes with deposits and withdrawals. It comes with a balance, right? But you can be walking around with your rose-colored glasses and be so in love with your significant other, right? But you better believe constantly making withdrawals, they're paying attention to that balance. You know what I mean? You got to be making deposits, right? And here's the thing: if somebody's making significant deposits, right, that's great, especially if people see that all the time in public, right? They see this person always making deposits for you. Oh, Mike's great, service professional is great, this is great, this is great, right? But do they see the withdrawals, right? And sometimes the best relationships may not be the best for you, right? They could be awesome people that bring a lot of love. They love bomb the hell out of you, and they're just dropping love on you all the time. But they also gaslight the shit out of you, stuff out of you. I told you I was going to swear I did.
I'm keeping score, Mike.
That's one. That's one. Dang it. So,
Well,
but
my
the
book,
gaslight.
the H word is bad too.
Oh well, okay.
So that's
Howdy.
two. Yeah.
Okay, so two.
Keep going.
So my point, okay, is that you gotta be mindful. And here's the thing: I let people get away with a lot more probably assume, right? Because I don't really like conflict. I'm comfortable with conflict. I don't necessarily like it. I don't like to start conflict. And sometimes that's not the best way to deal with things in life, right? Because you got to up front. And I'm trying to get better at that. I think that's a big challenge for me, right? Is learning when to go from 0 to 4 or 0 to 5 rather than 0 to 10, right? And a lot of people go from 0 to much thought, right? You see it all the time. on Facebook comments, right? If somebody disagrees with you, let's cancel them. Let's cancel their business. Let's cancel life. Let's cancel them like they never existed because we disagree, right? So one of the biggest challenges for me in 2020, and maybe because it's quarantine driven, because you aren't seeing as many people, but you're seeing those people that are close to you on a day to day more often, right? So it kind of made us
Mhm.
all step back and look at our real personal relationships. And sitting in the home all day for a year straight, makes everybody realize, what am I doing with my life? Like when I get out of this little jail sentence, what am I going to do differently? To make up for. So I don't know. Life's about learning, right? And at 42 years old, I'm like, I've just begun to learn. You know,
Right. So tell
Yeah,
me,
absolutely.
creating your boundaries, what lessons did you learn from creating your boundaries?
trust your gut. Like I don't know how to say this without sounding like an egotistical guy. But I'm fairly intelligent, right? And I've played a lot of poker. My dad was a professional gambler for 30 years, right? And I learned how to read people before I learned how to read a book. And I learned how to read books when I was a kid, like 4 or 5 years old. I was reading. My dad taught me how to read on the TV guide. I used to have to go find Hill Street Blues and circle his times. And seriously, it's how find Andy Griffith and circle the time. Most people watching the show nowadays are like, "How's a TV guide?"
Yes,
I
exactly.
just dated the hell of
And who's
myself.
Andy Griffith? Really?
Yeah, man, we need more of that guy though. We do. I mean, we need more. We need more of those lessons. Maybe that's why I'm promoting the Golden Rule is because, that show. I think my dad didn't like Andy Griffith. If we're just being frank with each other, I don't think my dad liked the freaking show. I just think my dad realized that he wasn't going to teach me some of those lessons. So here, go to Andy Griffith. That's what you're going to learn today, kid. Leave it to the beaver. I mean, they don't have those stories anymore. I'm done now.
Yeah. Go ahead, Trace. I think you
Oh,
had
I
a
have no
question.
idea, but I don't know who was Andy Griffith, but I'll just stick to what you said a
Man,
little
you
while
gotta
earlier,
go to
which was
Mayberry, buddy. You gotta. I'm gonna send you a ticket to Mayberry. I'm gonna send you a YouTube video, man. You gotta meet them. Oh man, I forgot cultural
uh,
differences. Oh man, no wonder I lost everybody.
mm, well, I'll just stick to what you said a little while earlier, which was one was to be grateful and express gratitude to the ones who have supported you, and second is to stay authentic. So, considering these values, what I think you have done a lot in this short while and SPN going great. But if at all there is one thing that you want to change for SPN or for you personally, what would that be?
That is a fantastic question. Really, I don't really want to change much of anything. I mean, my site's growing, my business is growing. I feel like I'm helping people. I feel like more and more people on a daily basis are getting what I'm throwing down. I'm just a one man shop. You know what I mean? Like I don't have employees. I don't have. This is 75 cents on a laptop. That's what got me started. You know what I mean? Just the desire. Like I started teaching myself YouTube, on YouTube and Google how to build WordPress sites. Like this, and if somebody told me 5 years ago that I was going to learn JavaScript or CSS or any of the stuff that I've learned, I would have told them I was crazy. And I thought that I was a confident person because I could fight. I was really confident with my legs, but I wasn't confident in my mental side of things. Like I didn't give myself the belief system or the feeling that I can do these things. But it was a progression. Like just start with one thing and move your way forward. So really, I'm a divorced guy, right? I'm divorced. I live with my mom. I don't have all the money in the world, obviously. You can tell by my dirty t-shirts and the dolls behind me. Um, but you know what? I'm happy. I'm healthy. So like if somebody has asked me what I would really change about what's going on, nothing. Like I'm 100% content. And maybe that is the gratitude. Like I don't know. I'm happy with what I'm doing. Every day I just challenge myself to do a little bit more, a little bit better. People can see that with my site. Like I just keep adding one thing a day. And I try to do that in different areas of my life, whether it's my hobbies, my passions, my website, what I show people and what I don't.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's no wonder that we connect so well because I think from what conversations I've had with Misha, we both share the same value, which is to be really happy and live in the moment. Because this moment, I'm still breathing. I'm able to converse with people who are oceans away. I didn't even know you before, and through Michelle, I'm able to have this wonderful conversation and know a lot about how difficult it is to create something new and sustain it. And irrespective of what the external circumstances are, we are still raring to go, bringing in that positivity. And uh, on that note, I just like to say thank you to Michelle for joining us so early in the morning from Washington Pacific time, which is about 8:15 right now over there. And she is
What time is it where
like
you're at?
really,
About 8:30 at night?
for me, it's 10 minutes to 10 o'clock in the night.
No, I appreciate you guys for having me on here, giving me the opportunity to talk to a whole bunch of different people. Sorry about the H word and the other word. We won't go back there. We're moving forward. We're moving forward past that because we love each other. We're moving forward. Grace, giving a little bit of grace. But like, here's the thing. Like, I appreciate people that help other people. That's why I agreed to do this podcast. I don't like to do a lot of podcasts or live events. Um, and there's a multitude of reasons behind that, if I'm going to be completely frank. One of the reasons is I'm a little bit less confident than I portray myself to be sometimes. And two is I'm in a crossroads. You know what I mean? I'm living with my mom, on a website that's barely by. I'm growing, but I make a lot of sacrifices, right? And I hope that I build this into something that's worthwhile and makes billions of dollars so I can donate and help people, right? But I'm still in that the beginning part of the story phase, right? So like, I don't want to go on and tell people how great I am or this and that, like it's we're still laying the foundation. So when I get people like you guys to encourage me and to post things on the site and to help, I can't even tell you how big of a deal that is, right? And the reason why I'm opening up and sharing this side is because everybody that right, deals with a lot of criticism. They deal with it externally and internally. Our internal voices and what we tell ourselves most of the time isn't great, and that's our anxiety. That's how we got to where we're at as a species. You know what I mean? Because if we didn't have that anxiety, we'd all be sticking our hands in the fire or walking in the bear caves. You know what I mean? We've been wired this way thousands of years, right? But quite frankly, in 2021, we got to rewire ourselves a little bit because fire's still bad and you still don't want to walk in the bear caves, right? But we all need to kind of tone down the anxiety. And I think that kind of was what playing into the mental health conversations that you see so much in society is because we are wired to be that animal running away from bigger, scarier animals, right? And society is outpacing evolution. And it's really interesting to see people pushing the envelope and talking about things. And then one of the reasons why I want to talk about my, own inner voice and lack of confidence sometimes is because if I can help one other person that's watching this show think to myself, oh, MikeO'Connor has these issues, maybe I can barrel through it. Because let me tell you, 5 years ago, when I told people I was going to build SPN, I was going to make a social media site, I was going to do this, I was going to do that. I got divorced, man. Everybody thought I was crazy. Oh, no, get away from this guy. He's off his rocker, right? And, people still laugh at me on a daily basis, right? I mean, I have not a top ranked website, but it's one tier down from a top ranked website, right? It gets a lot of traffic. I got some success I can point at. And I still get criticism every day. And like I was saying a little bit ago, it's like if somebody told me I was going to be doing CSS and JavaScript and all these other things, no way. One of the biggest things I want to focus on in 2021 is getting my website into the top 10,000. I tell people all the time, really, my goal is top 100, but I don't want to sound crazy then, so I'll say 10,000. But I also want to sit down and seriously consider what type of foreign language that I want to learn. Because for the longest time, I was telling myself, people that speak 5 languages, they're amazing. And I can't do it. I can't learn Spanish, right? And that's an internal voice that we all got to kind of stop. So, one of my biggest goals, or the legacy I guess I want to leave behind, is that it's okay to challenge yourself. It's okay to not listen to the critics, whether it's your own internal voice or the outside people, right? And no matter how old you feel or how weak you feel, right? Today is the best, right? You'll never be younger than you are today, right? And you'll never, have today back. You'll never have tomorrow back, right? So you got to plan your todays and tomorrows like they're a limited resource. And you got to get as much juice out of that squeeze as you can. And that's what I really want to challenge people to do. That's why I keep, pissing off Jacob Warren with Warren Research by breaking stuff on my website. I don't know if the P word counts as a swear. That might be 3. But I mean, we got to go through life and push ourselves to be better in all ways.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I wanted to point out to you, Mike, is that when haters start surfacing more, that's how you know you're succeeding. Because the more successful you are, the more haters you'll have.
And I'm getting successful. I'll tell you what. If I look at my inbox, I got hate conspiracy theories. I'm like, oh man, deposits, withdrawals. I mean, I feel like everybody's wearing a tinfoil hat nowadays. I don't know.
Yeah. So tell people a little bit more about Service Professionals Network, what they need to do to become a part of this awesome new platform, and where can they find you and interact to help promote Service Professionals Network?
Well, you ask a million different people about the website, and you'll probably get a million different answers, right? And I'm the guy behind the website, and quite honestly, I really don't know how to explain it myself. There's lots of bells and whistles, right? It's got a lot of the stuff that LinkedIn and Facebook has. Obviously, it doesn't have all the people and business listings and stuff going on yet, right? But we have a business directory, we have a social media platform, we're a publishing site, so you can publish blogs, you can publish images. Like I said a little bit ago, because I'm more of an stuff found on Google, right? So my website currently has a domain authority of 48, right? On a scale of 0 to 100. So it's actually pretty high. Most websites fall between 12 and 13 on the domain authority side. So if you have a website, a business, a social media platform like your Instagram page or your LinkedIn that you want to promote, sharing anything that's relevant on my website will help more people see it in Google, Bing, and other major search engines because of that domain authority of a 48. Plus, my website, depending on how active, it's anywhere from 50 to 100,000 page views a day. So it's a significant amount of page views. Like if you look at my website, almost any given time, you'll see recently active members up in the sidebar. And one of the guys that you'll see almost constantly is Timothy Hughes with DLA Ignite. Timothy Hughes literally wrote the book on social selling, and he's written a couple books now on digital marketing, how to sell things through social media. And that guy's always on my website. That should tell people right away how much value my website brings. The guy writes a blog like every 8 minutes. He's got a company and they write blogs and they write content, and that's what they do. They help big organizations be seen all over the world, right? And this guy, this expert that wrote the book on social media and social selling, right, puts everything he does on my website. And then you got John White, right? John White is like social media, social marketing solutions.com, right? The freaking guy's got more followers than just about anybody on Twitter now. I mean, like 250, 260,000 followers. I mean, the guy has interviewed Mark Cuban, interviewed some of the biggest guys in business, the biggest guys in tech, the biggest guys in media. And he's on my site. He posts his blogs on my site. So, I mean, like at some point, right, I think people will understand that, like, hey, all these smart people that do digital marketing and do search engine optimization, they're putting all their stuff, I didn't say the other S word, on Mike's site. So if they're using Mike's site, there must be some value. Because look, I already told you guys, I got 75 cents on a laptop. They're not on that site because I'm paying them, right? You know what I mean? They're on the site because I have a domain authority of 48. I get anywhere from 50 to 100,000 page views a day, and it's growing with every new user, with every new business, with every new post or comment or any activity whatsoever. Guess what? It's a whole new page on my website. You know, I mean, I got 2 million plus pages and growing. I mean, since I've been on the show, we probably added 10,000 pages to my website. So, I mean, look, and I'm not trying to sound cocky. I'm just telling you what's what, right? Is I built a blogging platform. People can post blogs. People can post memes. When you post a meme, right? Whether it's my LinkedIn group, my funny memes group, it automatically goes to Pinterest. It automatically goes to Twitter. It automatically goes to Tumblr. If you post something in the LinkedIn group, like, hey, here's my LinkedIn post of the day, right? Here's the URL. I posted in MikeO'Connor Service Professionals Network LinkedIn group. Guess what? Not only will all the other SPN members see it, we're all LinkedIn, can I say floozies? We're all LinkedIn junkies, right? We're going to be on your post. We're going to be like, hey, we're going to go hit this post, right? Curtis Thompson puts his post every day, and the guy's always getting 100, 300 likes on every post because why? People see it. It's a free advertising site. You can advertise whatever you want. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm going on and on about it, but I can literally talk about my website all day long because I didn't build this website to be Facebook. I didn't build the site to be LinkedIn. I have no grand illusions to be Twitter, right? I made a big ass website that I can read stuff on Google just to like rub it in the face of all the haters. But more importantly, right? I want to have fun on my own website. I like going on my website and reading cool stuff. I like going on my website and seeing cool memes. I like seeing what Michelle posted today, or Timothy posted today, right? It's the easy way for me to keep up with my friends and to see stuff that I like. And with LinkedIn, I see a lot of dumb crap. They can kick me off of LinkedIn at any time. And what do I do then? So I built Service Professionals like a safety net, right? It's a place for me and my friends to get along, have some fun, shoot the stuff a little bit, share some memes, some yucks, and maybe, just maybe, help people get a job, do some business, buy a cool pair of shoes with some lights, or maybe the roller skates on the bottom. I don't know. Have you seen the P funnel? I'm actually really silly proud about the P funnel page. I think women should be able to P stand up wherever they want to too. I just, believe in equality.
Well, let's just slide past that and let's highlight. I notice you are starting a new initiative about helping people get employed, right? Posting resumes and.
Here's the thing, right? I'm going to be completely transparent with everybody on LinkedIn, right? A lot of people do the I'm going to help you get a job thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they never actually help you get a job. It's just about views and likes. And I stayed away from the jobs. I stayed away from the resumes because I just didn't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? I don't want to be part of the crowd that does it, right? But, I started thinking to myself, you know what, Mike? Domain authority of 48, right? You got 45,000 followers, right? You actually got people that pay you money every month to sponsor your website, right? And you get thousands and millions of impressions on Pinterest, right? I'm like, you know what? I could probably actually help people get jobs. That's why I'm doing it. Not because like I want to be that guy who's like, hey, I can help you do this, I can help you do that, and then not actually do anything, right? Like, look, I can post a dumb meme or a motivational picture on LinkedIn, get my 300 likes and get my views. I don't even care. Like, if anybody pays attention to my LinkedIn feed, I'm surprised that anybody follows me, right? But they do. A lot of people do. And, I have one of the most engaged networks on LinkedIn. It's probably not going to change because I got a lot of crazy people that like me for some reason, like hundreds of them. You got people with like 200,000, 300,000 followers, right? I get more likes. I could say, have a nice day. And I'll get more likes and more comments than most of them. Why? Because they know that I really want you to have a nice day. I try to be authentic. So if I'm like, hey, look at John here. John's a good person. Somebody help him get a job. People might actually share that info and help John get a job because, like, they know I'm not going to tell you John's cool. John's not cool. I'm only going to tell you John's cool. John's cool. Help John get a job. And like, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't, I don't need the views. Like a lot of people look at LinkedIn like I'm not your average LinkedIn guy, right? I don't need to be on LinkedIn at this point. I don't mean to sound weird. I don't mean to sound like pretentious about it, right? I get thousands of clicks a day on my website from Pinterest. I get hundreds of clicks from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Like LinkedIn honestly, is the platform that started it all for me. I love LinkedIn. I think there's a lot of value to it. I think everybody in the world should be on LinkedIn, especially when they're looking for a job and they're looking for certain things, right? But at the same time, I'm not married, right? Like that's why I have the freedom to say what I want, do what I want, and tell people what I think is how it is, and I'll be the first one to tell you if I'm wrong. I have no problem admitting it when I'm wrong and eating crow. I've done more public apologies than anybody. I'll probably do a lot more because I say a lot of dumb stuff, right? But the thing is, right, I haven't in my LinkedIn because I turned off with all the shim shammers, all the GoFundMe's and all the people like I'm an expert at this, I'm a guru at this, right? I'll never say I'm an expert in social media marketing. I'll never say I'm an expert in search engine optimization. I'll never say I'm an expert in anything because I'd rather punch myself in the head, right? Like I trained 22 years, right? How to beat people up. I've done everything from kickboxing to Muay Thai to wrestling. I got pretty good at it, right? I know like 100 different ways to choke you out with your shirt, right? I'll never tell you I'm an expert at that, like because I feel like once you put the term like expert on something, like you're refusing to learn more and you're putting yourself on a pedestal. And the thing is, I want about me is I don't think I'm better than anybody in any way whatsoever, right? Nobody's better than me, but I'm not better than anybody. And I feel like everybody should feel that way to some degree, right? Because everybody you meet can teach you a story. Everybody you meet can tell you something you don't already know, right? And everybody you know, especially if they have the right mindset, all right? Because we all have ups and downs and peaks and valleys that we go through, right? If you catch the right person at the right time in life, it can be magical for you, right? And if you're that right person at that right time in somebody else's life, it can be magical for them, right? So I just
Mhm.
never to be the wrong person at the wrong time, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
It does
I,
because you just sorry, go ahead, Michelle.
I just wanted to reiterate a tidbit that Mike gave that people might have missed, that I picked up, is that networking will begin or can begin on social media sites, but that's not where the real networking happens.
That's true. I mean, it happens in everyday conversations. It happens in things like this. It's why I gotta get over my fears of coming on these shows and doing more often because that's how you get to really know people.
Very true. So what you just said really exemplifies some of the principles that I really follow, probably religiously, which is every person that I meet is both my teacher and my student. So that is one key
That's
belief that
great.
I've
I'm stealing
and
that. That's gonna be on Twitter by the time we're over here.
and I just want to take a moment to thank one audience member, Christina. Thank you for showing up so late, and she already signed on SPN.
All
So that's
right,
a
winner.
feeling, and
All right, I'm tagging that
you will
lady.
find amazing value for sure.
You're
So,
tagging
Mike,
too.
yeah, for sure. And this conversation wouldn't be complete if we don't actually steal some good tips from you about networking. So just walk us through how anyone can effectively network and try to
Man,
build a supportive community for themselves.
you're really trying to open Pandora's box there at the end of the show, right? All right. Good tips, right? How to start a conversation with anybody, right? People are probably wondering to themselves at this point if they've been paying attention. God help. How does Mike O'Connor guy have some of the connections that he has, right? And a lot of people they they ignore everything that we put out there, right? Everything you do in the digital world, right, leaves a footprint. It leaves a clue, right? So I would encourage people to be a little bit more like Sherlock Holmes before they ever initiate a conversation with anybody about anything, right? I'm not going to name drop, okay? But I will tell you, I have connected with people that president of the States. I've connected with CEOs of some of the biggest companies in the world. I have connected with some of the biggest celebrities in the world, Hall of Fame sports stars, right? By something that was relevant to them. Uh, before I started the conversation, one guy was going through a really messy divorce a long time ago, and a pretty famous guy. I sent him a message on LinkedIn, right? It was in mail, and all it said was, "Read about the divorce, f her," and that I didn't say the word, but
I know.
I
I
wrote it.
know.
I wrote it. That's what I wrote, right? Like 2 months goes by, I get a message back saying, "The first time I checked LinkedIn in months. Thanks, Mike. Blah 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 blah. You wrote a book, really famous person." And then all I said was, I've heard. It was relevant to that person. Relevance. Find something that's relevant. Everybody that's on social media is on social media for a purpose, whether they want to be entertained, whether they want to get a job, whether they want to build their business or whatever, right? And anybody can look at Service Professionals Network and be like, that guy just wants to do it for everybody, right? And wants to be the one-stop shop. And yeah, I do, not because of business, but because I like to help people. You want to laugh? I want to laugh. You want to get a job? I want you to get a job. You want to build your business? I want you to build your business too. Whether it's on Service Professionals Network, whether it's on LinkedIn or Facebook, I don't care. As long as you don't bug me, I don't care. I'll help you. You know what I mean? Like, look, life is hard enough for all of us, right? And if we can make it a little bit easier for other people, utilizing our skills, mine which happens to be digital stuff, then we should. I mean, like, money shouldn't always be our priority. I feel like if you do enough good for people and you make enough people smile, good stuff happens. You'll be fine. And like, I always looked at social media networking a little bit different than most people. Like, most people were like always trying to climb the ladder, right? I took a different approach, right? Like, I don't want to use you to get up a ladder. I don't want to use you to get more views. Like, this is not me, right? What I want to do is I want to make a personal connection with you. So that way, if I'm ever riding down your street and I get a flat tire, you'll help me fix that flat tire. And if you're ever driving down my street and you get a flat tire, you feel comfortable knowing me because I'm not going to come out there and do something creepy. I'm just going to help you fix the tire, get your ass back on the road. Because that is where it's for. So anyway, my point, right, is that a lot of influencers, a lot of people that build their network, right, they might have 1 million followers, but if they were dying of starvation or thirst and crawling through the desert and one of their followers was standing there with a glass of water, you're not going to get a drop, pal, because they don't really care about you. They just want to use you for your likes or your comments. Like, I'm aggressively authentic. I don't know if that's like a thing, right? But I'm aggressively authentic. You guys can coin me on that, or you guys can steal it and sell it on an e-course. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking about who's ever watching this. Aggressively authentic, right? Because I feel like if you're aggressively authentic, that helps you with your boundaries, right? Like, everybody knows what they're going to get with me for the most part, right? Like, look, anybody can say MikeO'Connor is a jerk. People are going to believe you, right? People are going to say, oh, MikeO'Connor is up. They'll probably believe that too, right? There's lots of things people can say about MikeO'Connor, and everybody's going to believe it, right? But they're not going to say, oh, MikeO'Connor lied to me. Like, nobody would believe that, because I'm aggressively authentic. And I feel like if people focus on that kind of thing, all the other good stuff happens. I mean, look at all the dumb things I do and say on a day-to-day basis. I still got Don Williams and Exit Your Way sponsoring my site. I mean, like, if you got good people, they're like, hey, there's something this guy is doing that's right? If you can be aggressively authentic and you can still attract high quality people, you should do it. And if you can be aggressively authentic and you don't attract high quality people, you got to take a hard look at yourself. I mean, like, you got to find out what makes you happy and do that.
Awesome.
I create a lot of awkward silence in every podcast I'm on. I really do. I watch some of these podcasts when I'm on with people, and it's just like the nonstop conversation. And then I come on there, and I start talking, and everyone gets quiet for a second. Like, I always wonder if it's me. Like, did I say something stupid or did I say something smart? I don't know. A little bit of both.
Well, for tonight, yeah, for tonight, I think it's just the internet playing games with us. I don't think it's anything related to you. So for the past 45 minutes, you have offered us some great insights. You have walked us through how SPN can really help individuals grow their network, find jobs as well. So, my last final question for you would be to ask, what is Mike O'Connor's legacy for 2021?
Oh, I'm gonna kick a whole lot of tail. I'm gonna kick a whole lot of tail. Yeah. No, I mean, like, okay, for the last 4 or 5 years, right? And Michelle, you've been a follower of mine for a while. You've been friends with me now for a couple of years on social media. I mean, you've been there when my website was crawling. It was so slow.
Mm.
Slow. Took forever to do everything. And a lot of people still have that impression, like, oh, that dude's website's a joke. Well, man, my website is fast. It's fast. Everything about this website is fast now. Thank you, Jacob Warren, with Jacob Warren Research, right? And the development done in a lot of ways. We still have to do an app and we still have to fix a lot of things I broke, right? But the website's fast, it works. We have automatic widgets that share things, right? So now I'm not going to spend all my time Googling how to do CSS and how to do JavaScript, right? If I'm not doing a podcast, I'm curating content. I'm taking content from Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, or I'm writing content, whatever blog strikes me at the moment. You can tell how Mike's feeling, whether or not he's putting out like a big diatribe on how to do digital marketing, or he's making blog articles about the P funnel. I had to go back. I mean, you can just tell, but I'm always busy. It doesn't matter what it is I'm doing, whether I'm writing a high educated blog or a little shopping blog on Amazon that requires no thought. I'm always going to be doing something. And when I told you guys I'm going to try to get the top 100 site 10,000 because I don't want to be crazy. I mean, like, go look at my Twitter feed, go look at my Pinterest. I'll post in the comments on LinkedIn here because I know a lot of you guys are on LinkedIn, right? I'm going to share some of the Pinterest data that I have with you guys. I at one point was doing 5 million views a month on Pinterest. And that was a couple years ago before I started doing the development process. Well, now I tell people I'm going to do 5 million views a month on Pinterest. I think it's going to be 15, but I'm telling people 5. They look at me like I'm crazy, right? A month ago, I told a few of my friends by March 1st, I'll be doing 5 million impressions a month on Pinterest. By March 1st, right? At the time, I was doing 330,000 impressions on Pinterest, which is like not very good. It's better than a lot of people, not very good for me. Now, I think I just passed the 2.3 million in like 2 weeks of effort, right? So my point is, all these little silly memes you see on my website, they're like, why would this guy post that? There's a purpose. There's always a method to the madness. So like we just do. So me and my friends are going to post a lot of news stories. We're going to post a lot of resumes. We're going to post a lot of memes to build traffic, right? Because I really don't want to be that guy that says I can help you get a job and not help you get a job. I don't want to be the guy that says I can help you rank on Google. And then, I mean, look, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a cage fighter. I used to be a cage fighter. This is just a different fight, right? I'm picking a different fight entirely. I don't like to have egg on my face, but I like conflict in some ways, right? So by me going out and saying I want a top 100 website, I want a top 10,000 website, right? A lot of people, that's going to open me up for attacks. It's going to open me up for criticism, right? Because like a lot of MMA cage fighter types, right? We need that chip on our shoulder to push us. We need that little guy telling us we can't do something because that's what makes us want to do it, right? So all you haters, I don't care, so my point is, right? I talk a big game and I talk about what my website's going to do. I've been talking about it for years, right? But every step of the way, I kind of do what I'm saying I'm going to do because I don't just talk and not do the work. Like I didn't just talk about fighting without doing the training. Like I didn't just talk about Search Network without actually putting the widgets in place and putting things in place to make it happen. And I think it'd be great to change the world with memes. I mean, how hilarious would that be if a guy could, for 75 cents on a laptop, build himself a big corporation by sharing memes from Facebook to Pinterest? Showing people the possibilities. That's all I want.
Right. So, any more questions, Michelle, before we let Mike off the hook?
I don't think anybody in the audience, if you have a question, ask now. Or
why are you still talking to this guy?
That hasn't. They just usually leave, Mike. That's not.
Oh, I'm used to that.
Nope, I'm good. I really enjoyed learning all of this stuff and getting to know you a little bit more, Mike.
Well, I
So
appreciate you guys having me on, giving me the opportunity to release some of this hot air. It was building up, so appreciate it.
It's been an absolute pleasure to
You guys
host you.
there?
And while
That's Steve coming out.
I don't know where that whistling is coming from, I can't
Hi there, buddy. Hi
really
there.
figure it out. So, as my friends are still really looking for a way to connect with these influencers, I think I've made the best decision of connecting with you and getting a short
I'm gonna be really honest with
timeline.
everybody. I'm at 30,000 connections all the time, right? A lot of those people I don't know. So if you join my website and you make a profile and you put your LinkedIn link on your service professionals profile, I'm gonna go find some scammer or some SEO expert or some guy who just he's a Forbes influencer. I'm gonna be like, is he on my site? No, he's gone. And I'm gonna make room, okay, on my LinkedIn for the people that join the Service Professionals Network. And then I'm gonna take that person who joined my site and made a good profile, put their face on it. I'm gonna take a big clipping of their face and their LinkedIn profile and their name, and I'm gonna say, hey, look, people on LinkedIn, here's this person signed up for SPN. You know, go connect with them. And forget that Forbes guy. We didn't like him in.
and he does it too.
I do. I like.
Yes.
I
Look,
know you do.
I got rid of some people with 1 million followers, and I asked them, "Are you on my site?" And they said, "No." I said, "Well, then you're gone." And then they, I kicked them off of LinkedIn, right? Because authentic, right? Like, I don't care if you got 1 million followers. You're selling a book you shouldn't be selling. Get lost, right? So then that person goes and messages me on Twitter telling me what a great person I was. Oh, that went well. We won't go there. We're not swearing. I said I'm not going to go there.
Right. And I'm sure, like, connecting with you, I've made some really wonderful connections,
I'm going to tag
which
you a lot more, man. I'm going to promote you. I
I
like you.
wouldn't have really had access to these people. Joe, the finance guy, Joe Stepke, although I met him on a few other networking events, I think it was because of SPN and the
He's
mention
a
of
great guy.
SPN
Him and
just
Jared Weesey, right?
automatically, yeah,
I'm sorry to cut you off.
and many
Joseph,
others like.
one of those guys, right? He keeps me in check. He'll reel me back in. I'm sorry, you hit a buzz. Joseph is the great guy. Him and Jared Weesey, they both have a really unique skill of calling me out on my stuff. They have a really
I've seen that.
skill of really nicely putting things that they disagree with me in a certain way that make me reconsider my position. So I really can't say enough about the profile pop-up guy, Jared Weesey, and Joel, the finance guy. I mean, thanks for bringing them up.
Yeah, Joe is a lot of fun too. I mean,
Yeah,
that guy cracks us up every time.
you see his Batman costume?
Yes.
Yeah, the guy spent like
You
40
literally
grand
have
on Batman costume. I think he's gonna come out with
Batman in
Iron
this
Man.
Batcave.
Yeah, I tell you, I live vicariously through that guy. I'm just a Marvel nerd, right? My website's got you
Yes.
guys got to go buy stuff off my Amazon blogs. That way, I can go buy a Batman costume because I'm really responsible with my money. I want the utility belt. I really do. It'd be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Well.
So
Anyway, I thank you guys for having me on.
thank you very much. And thank you to our audience as well, Judith and Adil, my friend. Thank you very much for showing up as part of the Heart team. And Christina, please do connect with Mike later on, and he will do the needful to just boost your profile as well. And he does keeps his promise. So, on that note, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Michelle, for spending that vacation time on social media, although it's you naturally, so I didn't have to force you to do this. And Mike, thank you very much for taking time off your busy schedule and
Glad to
providing
do it.
us some valuable insights.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And until next time, please take care, stay safe, and we'll be back with an amazing guest next week.
Thank
See
you.
you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.